Forms of cyberbullying. Do you remember the days when bullying simply meant kids teasing each other on the school playground? Well, things have changed. With the explosion of technology, bullying has evolved to a whole new level, more ruthless, more widespread, and sometimes even invisible. This is cyberbullying. So, how can we recognize it, prevent it, and protect our children from this issue? Let's find out together why parents need to understand cyberbullying. Before we dive into the specifics, imagine this. Your child has been unusually quiet lately, barely smiling, glued to their phone but not really talking to anyone. They struggle to sleep at night, sometimes waking up startled. These could be signs that your child is being cyberbullied. Cyberbullying is not just a few harmless jokes. If left unaddressed, it can cause severe emotional distress, and in extreme cases, lead to tragic consequences. That's why the first step for parents is to understand how cyberbullying happens. Common cyberbullying tactics. If you think cyberbullying is just about arguing online, well, unfortunately, it's much more complicated than that. Bullies have an entire toolbox of tactics that can be hard to detect if you're not paying attention. Posting malicious comments, cruel remarks, insults, mockery, and ridicule online. These words may seem harmless but can deeply wound a child. Threats and psychological harassment. Sending threatening messages. Sometimes even encouraging victims to harm themselves or commit suicide. Bullies may also target the victim's family and friends. Sharing sensitive images or videos. A single misused photo can ruin a child's reputation in an instant. Impersonation and identity theft. Creating fake accounts to approach victims, collect personal information, and then publicly humiliate them. Doxing. Exposing personal information. This is a dangerous form of cyberbullying where private details like home addresses, phone numbers, or even bank information are leaked, making the victim feel unsafe. Real-life examples of cyberbullying. To understand the seriousness of cyberbullying, let's look at some real-world examples. Sharing explicit images. A teenage girl sends a private photo to her boyfriend. After they break up, he shares the image with others, adding humiliating comments. The result? The girl is devastated and has to transfer schools. False accusations. A group of students gets in trouble for drinking alcohol, but instead of accepting their mistake, they falsely blame an innocent girl. They flood her with hateful messages and threats. She eventually deletes her social media accounts and changes her phone number. Yet the bullying at school continues. Bullying due to financial status. A boy is ridiculed for not wearing expensive brands. His classmates post online comments mocking him as poor, and continue harassing him at school. Terrified, he starts skipping school, encouraging suicide. A physically disabled boy is bullied through cruel social media messages and even finds hateful phrases like, "Why don't you just die?" written on his school locker. The emotional toll pushes him into despair. How to protect children from cyberbullying. No parent wants their child to suffer from cyberbullying. Instead of just worrying, we can take action. 1. Listen to your child with empathy. Sometimes, kids don't speak up out of fear of being scolded. Create a safe space for them to share their feelings. 2. Teach smart social media use. Guide children on setting up privacy controls and not sharing personal information with strangers. 3. Led by example. Parents should also practice good online behavior and avoid posting negative content. 4. Monitor and support your child. Watch for unusual behaviors and intervene early if your child shows signs of being bullied. 5. Work with schools and relevant organizations. If things escalate, don't hesitate to seek help from teachers and psychologists. Final thoughts. Don't let silence destroy childhood. Cyberbullying may not leave visible scars, but it leaves deep emotional wounds. As parents, we must take proactive steps to protect our children before it's too late. Teach them that no one has the right to hurt you. And if they do, speak up. Hopefully, this article has provided you with useful insights to support your child in growing up safely in the digital world.